Hey there, Ben. Good afternoon, everyone. Talk to Reverend Henry Brown today, very familiar to many of our viewers. He works with Mothers United Against Violence, and he said the 3 and the 16-year-old being killed less than a mile apart, 2 hours apart, was perhaps the most crushing experience he's ever had in his advocacy work that he's done here in Hartford. Then last night, the third shooting in 4 days, a 31-year-old victim, and police just announced within the last 15 minutes who the suspect is. Hartford's 9th homicide victim of the year is 31-year-old Heriberto Garcia, who died at a local hospital after being shot in the chest.
This was a very personal dispute between two people inside of a car behind a building.
A couple of hours after the shooting, the suspect, Daniel Lopez, age 29, of East Hartford, charged with murder. He's being held on $1.5 million bond.
Our officers at this point are taking this very personally, that these things are occurring.
Nothing new to report on the Saturday shooting deaths of 3-year-old Rendell Jones Jr. and 16-year-old Jamari Preston, although Chief Thody is hoping to make some significant announcements on these cases sometime this week.
We have a tremendous amount of information that we gathered in those, especially in those first 48 hours. A little bit more information that came in subsequent to each of the vigils.
That's due in part to the fact that HPD always has investigators attending vigils.
Because sometimes people do want to talk to law enforcement, but they're not really sure how to initiate that. They don't necessarily want to pick up the phone, but if they bump into us at a vigil, they will have some things to say.
And whenever there is an uptick in violence in the city, Hartford police team up with federal and state partners to make visits to several dozen key players.
They had a list of 50 people that they went out and spoke to this week. And these are individuals that we know, may either have a propensity for violence
or may have some connection to either victims or suspects in active cases.
Our message to them is just, look, we know what's going on, and we're keeping an eye on you specifically.
Coming up on the Fox 61 News at 5, you'll hear about a couple of wins for the Hartford Police Department last night in their fight against gun crimes. Live here at HPD, Tony Terzi, Fox 61 News.